Hey there, everyone. Orange County Beekeeping Supplies presents the head-to-head battle, Hive IQ versus Langstroth. We have done the Southern California testing, and we are here to share the results. The hive on the left, you guys all recognize as a standard Langstroth configuration, traditional beehive. And the hive on the right is a Hive IQ. Let's mention a couple things about the Hive IQ on the right. If you notice the two bottom boxes, we did not paint them. We wanted to see what they would do in the sun. We ran them out in Riverside where the sun is blistering. I just want to mention, per the manufacturer's instructions, you must paint the boxes. Repeat, we did not paint the two bottom boxes to show you what would happen if you do not paint the boxes. This is a 10-frame Langstroth on the left, and the Hive IQ holds 9 frames per box. The Hive IQ has a screened bottom board, which we left open all winter. The Langstroth hive runs a solid bottom board. Natural forage, honey, and pollen was provided equally on frames to both hives. 2 weeks ago, on the Langstroth hive, we added a queen excluder and a honey super. On the Hive IQ, above the 2 brood boxes, we added a queen excluder, another deep box, and a honey super because there was so much cap brood inside. Now we are back out on Father's Day to take a look and see what the results are. Lori and I are going to dig in, take a look, and first we're going to start with one of the Langstroth hives. I always like to see bees when I look through the inner cover hole right there. You see there's bees on the top frames, but let's see what that equates to in the honey super. I'll give them a gentle puff of smoke just to get them off the top frames down onto the foundation. Let's see what we spy. Curious. Let me just pull that up so you guys can take a look. This is the dead center frame. So they're just starting to pull the wax on that frame.
That's kind of nice.
I can see that is the only frame they've begun to pull the wax. There's absolutely no honey storage up here yet. So let's take it off. Now that we have the honey super off, we are going to remove the queen excluder so we can get a good look and determine what the brood is doing in the Langstroth hive. I'm going to pull the first frame, an outside frame. Oh, there's a bit of weight to this frame. No wonder. We have capped honey, and in the bottom half of the frame, we have nectar. All right, we're going to put this back in. We're going to use the hive tool, and we're going to pry everything over to the other side. See that? Now we can pull that frame. There's plenty of room. We pull it dead up the center. We have some capped honey on the top, and a mix of capped and open brood. We'll get it back in the hive. We'll move on to the next one. Here we go. On this one, we are seeing very little open brood. Seeing eggs, some larvae, and nectar. We're going to speed up the mundane a little bit here. And then when we pull it out, we will slow it down, give you our assessment. This is a fantastic brood frame. This queen is just doing a great job. Just smashing down a few queen cups at the bottom of the frame so I don't have to think about it this week. Always smashing queen cups, it seems, in Southern California. Back into the box and on to the next one.
Ooh, all brood.
So it's both sides.
That's a pretty one. Oh, same.
And another frame of capped brood. It's beautiful. Look at that. That means we have more bees on the way.
All nectar.
Yeah, as I mumble there, all nectar. It's a very heavy frame. We got capped honey on top. A little bit of work to go on the bottom. Open nectar. So we know what's in there. We have a few frames of capped brood, some open brood. It looks fantastic. Now let's take off this box. Let's dig down deep. Ugh, it's heavy. Put it down there. All right, I'll grab the smoker. Where is it? Oh, there it is. We're going to give it a squeeze. Oh, not smoking good enough. We move it out to the side, get it good and primed. We move the bees right off the top. Okay, the joke's on me. There's a bee on the bottom of my hive tool. I gave her a squish. Boom. Scrape the stinger out and back to work. Let's look at the center frame. Let's get in here. We can see that there's no bees on the outer frames of this box. We're going to dig down in the center.
Pollen, nectar, brood, eggs.
This bottom frame is kind of a mixed bag of tricks. It's got a little of everything in it. There is plenty of room for the queen to lay. There's no plug out situation going on in this bottom box. We would usually pull frame by frame and check for queen cells, but today we're doing internal comparison of the Langstroth versus the Hive IQ. So let's speed this up and get to the Hive IQ. What is going on with this crazy angle? The camera got inverted here, but this footage is so critical, I had to include it. I had to show you guys. Remember, on the Hive IQ, like the Langstroth, we added a deep box and a honey super 2 weeks ago. By first glance, it just looks like there's a few bees up here, not doing very much. So let's start pulling some frames and get a closer look. Get ready to be pleasantly surprised. Here we go. Right there in the middle. Look at that. 2 weeks, this frame has been completely pulled and they have begun filling it with nectar. Again, I gotta say, 2 boxes went on above the queen excluder, a deep and this honey super. All right, let's pull a few more. Let's see what these bees are doing. Wow, another frame, completely pulled, and they've begun filling it with nectar. I'm pretty amazed that they're already up here at the top, pulling these frames, and there's this much nectar in it. Really, really surprising me right now. All right, let's move to the frame in front of that one. Let me loosen it up. We're going to grab it. Give it a tug. Oh, wow. Okay, everybody. Pulled. Storage of nectar. Bees are doing a great job in this box. Couldn't be happier. Now let's move through a few more frames, a little faster pace for you guys so you don't get bored. Right, you guys, I really wasn't expecting this, but looking down the frames, pulling the frames up, we can see that everything in the box is pulled and there's traces of nectar in every frame. So within 2 weeks, this upper box has been pulled and they have begun filling it with nectar. We're going to remove the top honey super and look in the deep super. This is a deep box above the queen excluder once again. Remembering that this was put on 2 weeks ago above a queen excluder, a deep box, and a honey super. The honey super has already been pulled. The bees are filling it with nectar. Let's take a look at this. All nectar, and they're beginning to cap it. This is a full frame of nectar. I have some painted boxes over here to the side of me that we'll be transferring everything into. You guys will be going frame by frame with us and seeing exactly what's in this Hive IQ. I can tell just by pulling this thing it's heavy with nectar. And indeed it is. So it's about 50% capped. The entire frame is full of nectar, front and back. The bees are doing very well in this hive. All right, what's this little lady doing? Getting a little slurp of nectar. Let's move right through here. All right, there she is. Not wasting a drop of honey. Here's another frame just pulled out. This is your up-close nectar report. Just take a look at that. It's amazing. All right, everybody, get ready for it. Get ready for it. All right, everybody, back to our high-grade videography. Enjoy. Now we're going to work below the queen excluder. We will locate the queen in here. We will isolate her in a nuke box. And we will move through here rapidly and put everything into painted boxes. Awesome Gavin slides me the J-hook tool, reminding me it is the proper tool to use with Hive IQ. Right, the first frame in the brood box is a nectar frame, outside nectar frame. The next frame, a full capped brood frame front and back. Gavin immediately spots the queen. So we'll take a look at the queen. We'll watch her walk around for a little bit. This queen is absolutely gorgeous. She has hues of red, purple. Vogue, Fashion, and Orange Coast Magazine have all been down to photograph this queen because she is so damn sexy. Hermes and Chanel are actually competing to see who can make her the first miniature bee purse. They're trying to accessorize her so she looks good walking through the hive, dropping eggs. There she is on the catwalk, ladies and gentlemen, the queen. All right, you guys can pay extra if you're going to look at her any longer. We're going to whisk her away and place her gently in her secure luxury skybox, where Gavin will run security on her, make sure she's safe, while we continue the breakdown of the Hive IQ. This next frame, all right, it consists of a bit of cat brood. It's completely laid up from end to end. Eggs, larvae, it's full. Next frame. This one is end to end cat brood front and back. That single frame will yield 3 frames of bees. Let's keep going here. Oh, and another one. Cat brood, front to back, both sides. All right, looking down this frame, I can see we have kind of an abnormality with our queen. All tucked away safe and sound. We can make a correction here. This is sticking out a bit. It's mostly drone comb, as you can see. They've just pulled it a little wonky. We went through this later in the day. We didn't see any mites in this drone pupa. That frame was mostly eggs, larvae, and cat brood. Here's the next one. What is that, party people? That is eggs, larvae, honey, and pollen. We'll regard this frame as a highly resourceful frame, a lot of food on it, so we'll keep it out to the outside. Dig in here, see what we have. We have more capped honey surrounding eggs, larvae, pollen band. We're moving pretty quick here, people. I apologize. It's a big hive. I just don't want to leave it open forever. The next frame is the last frame in the box. As you guys will see as we pull it, that side is pretty blank. It hasn't been pulled. The other side has capped honey, pollen, pupa, larva, and cat brood. We will face the part of the frame that needs to be pulled in toward the brood, thinking that the bees will pull this and make room for the queen to lay more. Yes, we did leave a gap in that box, in the gray box up there at the top. That will be where we put the queen frame back in when she's done partying in her luxury sky nuke box. We're going to shake the bees out of this box. We're going to remove it. We're going to take it back to the shop. We're going to paint these so they last forever. We are now going to get into the bottom brood box together. And Lori does the handoff of the next painted box. I'm going to remove the oxalic towels. They got about another week on them, then we're going to pull them out completely. These will at times propolize these to the top of the frames. There's a gopher hole right here at the bottom of my feet that I keep fighting and twisting on. I'm going to have to go get a shovel and eventually fill it in. But Lori, again, with the handoff, reading my mind, the smoker comes in, a little light smoke in front of the hive, damn gopher hole. And the J-hook is the proper tool to use in the Hive IQ. Not this tool, people. Use the J-hook. All right, any guesses? What's going to be on this frame, ladies and gentlemen? Any guesses? Any takers? What's it going to be? This frame is mostly eggs, larvae, both sides, surrounded with a band of pollen and some honey. I got a blank side here, and they're starting to pull comb on the other side. All right, beekeepers, being in the bottom box, I'm going to make a stand, grab something. I can't really set this smoker on a polystyrene box. It would melt it. So I go get another hive box, wood. There's my smoker perch, safe and sound. It's not on the dry grass. As things dry out, remember, fire danger. All right, a lot of bees on here. Looking at this, all larvae. Oh my gosh, it's all larvae. All right, here's the pull, and what we see, all larvae on one side, eggs and larvae on the other, so another solid brood frame. All right, party people, we are smoking because I reached in and grabbed the frames. We're just moving bees out of the way. As I look at this frame, it is nothing but eggs and larvae from end to end. And it's just packed full of nurse bees, feeding the larvae, feeding the pupa, getting ready to cap them. Just an insane frame in the Hive IQ membrane. You guys like that one? Oh, and another open brood frame. Let's look at the other side real quick. Oh yeah, eggs, larvae. Complete frame of open brood. All right, as we near the end, we're getting closer to the edge here. I'm going to pull this frame. Check it out. What is it? Another complete frame of open brood. Man, there's going to be a lot of bees in this box. Makes me start to think, how many honey supers or how many honey deeps can we pull off this labor force? All right, just a little bit of resources around the edge, but mostly it's an open brood. Mostly open brood, teeny bit of cap brood, eggs, larvae, amazing. Okay, I want you guys to pay attention. Here coming up, you're going to see when I reach into this next box, the bees are going to jump on me a little bit. I'm going to smoke this top box, get them down a little bit. But I'm going to reach into the last frame here and watch. Just ready for it? Get over there. See, they just jumped on me a little bit. They did not like the sound of when I cracked the frame away from the hive because it was propolis bound. So I made that sound crack and the bees jump. But as you can see, I got no stings there. It's absolutely fine. Last frame is mostly honey and pollen resources, but still eggs and larvae. Now the Hive IQ is made with very, very tight tolerances. The bee space is pretty much perfect between frames, between the sides of the boxes. You don't have the big gaps in these boxes. So it takes a bit to slide the last frame in. But the bees, as you can see, do very, very well in these boxes. So I'm going to pull this last box off. It's going to go back to the shop. It's going to get painted. I need to bring a painted gray bottom board out with me next time I come. But we're going to shake the bees off here. Just a gentle tap. And we're going to start putting this back together with all painted boxes out here in the summer sun to come. All right, we're going to grab this first box, get it back on. This is our deep brood box. Get everything lined up. It's a good thing these aren't wood boxes. These would be extremely heavy because right now everything is full of brood. I grab the second box. As I do so, I am calling out for the queen security officer to bring the queen back over. We're going to get her back into this top box and underneath the queen excluder. All right, Gavin's standing right over here with the queen. He is gloveless. He's trying to reach for this frame, but there's this bee that's just on him. So we're going to slow it down so you guys can see this bee. I love this kid. I ask him, hey, let me just grab it. And he says, no way, Dad, I got this. As soon as I can get rid of this tweaker bee. So the bee finally lets him make his move. Gavin has got his eyes on the queen. He insists on putting her in safely. He lets us know she's dead center of the frame. She's in there. His job is complete. Now, we are going to put the queen excluder on. We're going to have to scrape a little propolis off the top of the frames to get it to sit flat, which you will see. And then we're going to move the honey frames back over so we'll get another look at all the honey that's in this hive. So we'll set the queen excluder over here, and the only place we see any propolis in these hives is right there on the outside tops of the frames. We never see it on the shoulder of the frames, in between the frames. We don't see how the bees propolize that, and it pushes the frames apart. Like I said, the tolerance on this, the bee space on this, is a lot tighter. We don't see the slop as we do in the wood hives. Okay, you guys, watch this. The queen excluder goes down. I'm going to put this other box right on top. And then I'm going to stall for a minute. And I'm going to look at it. And I'm going to go, hey, there's something wrong here. It's not a gray box. It's a white box. So, Gavin's running over another gray box to me that we have in the truck. We are going to offload this into a gray box. And you guys get to see the honey frames on the wide version. All right, off goes this heavy, deep box of honey. In comes the correct deep box to match. We also filmed this video in pretty much real time so you guys can see how long it takes us to go through 2 big hives. Thank you, Gavin. He places the correct box on top of the queen excluder. So we have 2 deep brood boxes, queen excluder, and deep honey box right here. Now you guys are going to get a fantastic view of these honey frames, these deep honey frames. I'd say when I come out here next week, these things are going to just be capped, and we're going to be pulling this entire box. We're going to let you guys gaze upon these honey frames. We're going to let you enjoy the background sound of the farm. And we're just going to put these in here. Let you guys enjoy it for a second.
Beautiful frames. And what a handsome beekeeper.
I keep telling this camera woman I'm married. All these frames in this deep honey super are completely full of nectar.
Queen excluder?
It's already on.
Oh.
It's in between here and here.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay, everybody, we've been running the Hive IQ for quite some time now. We wanted to share these results with you. What we see so far is Hive IQ is outproducing Langstroth in number of bees, number of brood frames, and currently honey production. Lori did express some concern about the amount of cap brood we left in the Hive IQ. We will be out the following weekend with more gear, fresh frames. We'll be pulling all the capped honey out of here. We'll keep you guys posted. Overall opinion so far, super excited about Hive IQ. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been OC Beekeeping, giving you the head-to-head battle between Hive IQ and Langstroth, and currently we are loving the Hive IQ.